Ukraine's president is accusing Russia of planting explosives at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Moscow, in turn, has said Kyiv is planning to attack the facility. Russia took over what is Europe's largest nuclear facility in the days after the invasion of Ukraine last year. Since then, each side has regularly accused the other of shelling near the plant and risking a nuclear disaster.
Щодо ситуації на Запорізькій атомній станції.
We have information from our intelligence that on the roof of several power units of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, the Russian military installed objects similar to explosives, perhaps to simulate the hit on the plant. Maybe they have some other scenarios.
In a moment, we'll go live to Yulia Shapovalova in Moscow. But first, let's get the latest from Rob McBride in Kyiv. Hello there, Rob. Those are certainly some serious allegations being made by the Ukrainian president. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, these warnings are certainly very specific, and with a lot of the details being provided by Volodymyr Zelensky himself, some of it in conversations, phone conversations he's had on Tuesday, one of them with Emmanuel Macron of France, where he's accused the Russians of dangerous provocations with regard to Zaporizhzhia. And in his nightly briefing, giving more details about what he says the Ukrainian intelligence services have detected, that they have been placing these objects, possibly explosives, on these power units on the roof of Zaporizhzhia, with the Ukrainian military here in Kyiv giving further details that what they say could be planned by the Russians is some sort of simulated Ukrainian artillery attack on the Zaporizhzhia plant in some kind of, as they claim, false flag operation by the Russians. Whatever the truth of it, Zelensky has said that this is a new evil being perpetrated by the Russians, also making reference to the attack on the Kharkov Dam several weeks ago, the destruction of that dam that the Ukrainians blame on the Russians, saying that the fact that the world did not take a tough stand against that has emboldened, he says, the Russians to take this latest action. These claims, the warnings, the fears about Zaporizhzhia have been going on for weeks, if not months. But there has been now a warning from the department, the Ministry of Health here in Ukraine, that residents around Zaporizhzhia should be prepared to be evacuated if they detect some kind of a large radiological incident.
Rob, what evidence does Kyiv have to substantiate these latest claims?
As with all of these things, there is the claim, but a lack of hard evidence to back up the claim. So it has to be treated with a certain amount of circumspection. But according to Ukrainian media, at least, they are saying that Ukrainian intelligence services have access to satellite photographs that prove that these objects have been placed on the roof of Zaporizhzhia. The Ukrainian authorities here have not admitted that fact, and certainly have not presented photographic satellite evidence if they have it. There is always an issue from the security services point of view of presenting your intelligence gathering to the other side to show how you're getting your intelligence. But the fact that these details are quite specific, and also we had another claim a couple of weeks ago, again from the Ukrainians, that the Russians were planting mines on the cooling ponds that provide cooling water to the reactors at Zaporizhzhia. There is a concern, I think, that because of these the allegations are becoming more specific from the Russian side, they're even giving dates and timings, it seems, on when they claim the Ukrainians might be planning some action. There is a sense, at least, that possibly things here are coming to a head.
All right, thanks so much for bringing us up to speed. Rob McBride in Kyiv. Let's cross to Yulia Shapovalova now, who joins us from Moscow. Hello there, Yulia. Russia has separately made its own claims about Ukraine planning an attack on that plant. What's Moscow saying?
Yes, indeed. A representative of Russia's Rosenergoatom accused the Ukrainian army of preparing a strike on the station on Tuesday, July the 4th. Rinat Kachar, the Deputy General Director of the Rosenergoatom Corporation, said that Ukraine would try to attack the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant on the night of July the 5th with precision weapons and kamikaze drones. He said that Ukraine intended to hit the station with a missile with a radioactive warhead. Luckily, that hasn't happened, as we see. Also, according to the Russian side, on the night of July the 4th, Ukraine disconnected the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant from the main external power supply, which obviously supplied electricity to the station. So the station had to work using a backup line. And later, the station's director, Yuri Chernychuk, reported that the power supply was actually restored. And since then, as we understand, the station has been working normally. While the day before yesterday, before the reports about the disconnection of the station from the power supply, the IAEA actually reported that the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant was reconnected to one of the 6 spare transmission lines to provide external electricity needed for reactor cooling and other critical security functions. Well, apart from that, we still hear not very loud opinions here that Russia may cede the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant station to Ukraine because it's not part of the land corridor to Crimea, which Russia is so fiercely fighting for. So basically, that's the latest from Moscow.
All right, thanks so much, Yulia Shapovalova in Moscow. Thank you.